What's up, guys? I wanted to bring you guys a recap of the debates. So, here's the thing, right? We know that the debates were a train wreck, and obviously Gary Johnson wasn't in the debates, which is, bumming us out. So, I was going to do this whole thing where I was going to cut clips and do a bunch of analysis and everything about the debate. Instead, I decided that I'm just going to run with it. I'm not going to do all that kind of stuff. So obviously we're talking about Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton, in the first debate. So got a cool graphic. Spent most of the day, snagging cool graphics from people. It was really fun. All right, so here's basically my analysis of the debate. First of all, and I'm kind of borrowing from Tom Woods about this, Trump had every opportunity in the world to just crush Hillary on any number of issues. So he didn't take any of these opportunities to do this. He had the email scandal, which he kind of hit on a little bit, but then when she was really firing at him about his taxes, she said, well, you're hiding something terrible. That's why you're not releasing the taxes. He had all kinds of things that he could say. Well, look at all these things that you're hiding that are terrible. Look at how the WikiLeaks emails have shown that the DNC election process was rigged, literally rigged, to favor her over Bernie Sanders. Okay, so then why didn't he take the opportunity to hammer her on all these things that he could have brought up? Some people say it was classy. Some people say he's trying to appeal to more of a marginal voter. Well, I'm just not buying that. So during the Republican primary, he was saying all these outlandish things, attacking people for any kind of issue, and his apologists were saying, well, that's just his personality or whatever, and he speaks the truth, and he doesn't speak the truth. He speaks a bunch of crazy stuff, but they liked that then, but now what he's saying, the people that he hasn't won over, don't want to hear the truth, or they don't want to hear hard issues, or what? I just don't understand what the possible argument could be for why he's trying to look professional now and try to kind of take the high road and avoid some of these issues. That's how you defeat your opponent. You attack them where they're weak. You expose them for being, a criminal or whatever. Okay, so there's the thing with that. I feel like he had an opportunity for the kill shot, and he didn't take it. All right, so that leads me to believe that he doesn't want it. He doesn't want to win. I don't know. There's very little other explanation for this. If you find something, hey, leave me a comment. Right now I'm trying to bring up the stream just in case somebody comments. So bear with me for just a second. Okay, so in other news, the major issues that they centered around. So a lot of the other commentary that I saw around Facebook today was, well, Donald Trump's our only chance to stop Hillary, and therefore the Liberty Movement needs to get behind Donald Trump. Well, let's talk about the Liberty Movement getting behind Donald Trump. Okay, so he threw us a bone. He brought up the Federal Reserve, right? That's great. I'm glad he brought up the Federal Reserve. Okay, didn't go anywhere with it. And when Hillary was talking about how lowering taxes on the rich and things like that are going to cause a recap of the financial crisis of 2008, he just let that roll. So he's not, he's not hitting back at the issue. He's not saying, well, no, you're incorrect. The book's been written on that. You can go find what the cause of that. And it wasn't lower taxes, which is just blatant. Anyway. So, the issues, Liberty Movement. Right. So he's on about stop and frisk all stinking night. Stop and frisk this and stop and frisk that. Okay, well, let's talk about stop and frisk for just a second. First of all, now he also talked about keeping guns away from people on the no-fly list, which, unfortunately, I think Gary Johnson has said some things to that effect. And so we don't really have the high ground there as libertarians. But here's the thing. Stop and frisk, we got the high ground on this. Is blatantly unconstitutional. You do not have to worry about walking down the street and getting stopped and getting searched just because of your presence, thanks to the Fourth Amendment, or used to be. That's the way it's supposed to be, okay? Now, if you live in New York City or Philadelphia or any of these other places, somehow there's a court ruling out there that says, well, stop and frisk was racist because the stats show that it was only certain neighborhoods or people of certain ethnicities. That's why it's unconstitutional. Okay, again, the courts completely missed the point and completely misruled on this. If, you can say that it works all you want. You can say, oh, it made New York safer. It should be implemented in Chicago. You know what else? Just make it illegal for people to travel more than 25 miles from their home. Make it illegal for people to have more than 2 passengers in their car. I mean, there's all kinds of things that you can do to make the country safer. None of them are legal or should be, and that doesn't mean that they're not going to get implemented anyway. But you have people up there like Donald Trump advocating for stop and frisk. He says, oh, it worked, it was decisive. As this chart right here shows, it was absolutely not decisive. Okay, so first of all, he's incorrect. Second of all, it's a massive infringement on liberty. The trumpeters, they're still going on and on about Donald Trump, and it's okay that he's anti-Second Amendment, but he's not as anti-Second Amendment as Hillary, and all these things. Look, there's no common ground between someone who identifies with anything remotely called the liberty movement and Donald Trump's candidacy, if it's even a candidacy. That's all I'm getting at here. Now, lest you decide that, I'm advocating for Hillary, or, I want her to win or whatever. Look, the DNC emails show that the selection process for the Democratic Party was rigged. Okay, well, if that was rigged, what if this is rigged? I mean, it's beyond plausible, and in my opinion, the fact that he didn't really go after her is evidence that he's either not trying to win this election or there's something going on. Don't know what it is, but who knows? I mean, we can speculate. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully you Trump supporters win the election, and and I'll eat crow. You guys can bring up this video and say, well, look how wrong you were. Great. I'd love to be wrong and find out that we get our freedom back and everything, but it's a sham. So here's the thing. Nobody, if you look at all the social media and the reports and everything on Facebook about how the debate went, everybody's basically disgusted with the way it went. Libertarians, of course, were completely disgusted by the fact that our candidate was unfairly excluded. Hopefully the Commission on Presidential Debates gets sued and loses their nonprofit status, which would be completely justified if that were to happen. At the same time, the media doesn't have to comply, but they are. We had a completely partial moderator in this debate. He very obviously was favoring one candidate over the other. But, again, who cares? There's no real choices. They're agreeing on half of everything. And the opportunity was there to win. Donald Trump didn't take it. So that's our debate analysis. Again, I went cheap. Instead of, cutting out clips and doing all that kind of stuff, I just figured I would do this, just, put out my opinion about the situation and call it good. It's a lot quicker, a lot less of my time. I don't have to listen to those two bicker back and forth about that. All right, so just as we pick up a couple of watchers, I'm going to go ahead and end it there. Leave us a comment on this video. Love to hear what you think. If you're looking for maps to walk neighborhoods, if you're in the Metro East, get with us. We've got a source for neighborhood maps, especially in St. Clair County. If you're in Madison County, we'll try to hook you up with that too. Other thing, the next debate's October 9th. It's going to be at St. Louis University, I think it is. So, hey, that's right in our backyard. We can definitely go down and go into the free speech zone, which, I don't know, they'll have, I'm sure, narrowly defined. But we've got an event out on Facebook for that. Check that out. Love to see you down there. If it's anything like this last debate, there might be some heavy hitters there in the free speech zone. Might get a ton of cool video. Have a good time. So that's going to be good. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.